For 50 years, Southern Sanitation has been managing the waste disposal needs of the city of Laredo and the surrounding communities, doing its part in helping keep the community clean. Call Southern Sanitation at 956-723-3333 and let us help you manage all your waste disposal needs. Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service.
Life is full of great moments, special moments, shared with friends, family, and loved ones. But for some, pain deprives us from fully enjoying these moments. If chronic pain is keeping you from fully enjoying life, there is hope. Hi, I'm Dr. Marta Martinez. At Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, we're dedicated to treating our patients with the most advanced and compassionate care possible. Visit us for an evaluation and let our experienced staff help you get back to living a pain-free life.
Good afternoon, fans of baseball. We're back at the Palomino World Series game between Palmview, Texas and the host team Laredo, Texas. At the plate, number 4, Leonardo Bocanegra takes ball 1 from the starting pitcher for Laredo, Ronaldo de Leon. Ronaldo de Leon on the mound for Laredo as the game starts off here, the second game of the day. First game went a long way. Youngstown, Ohio beating Mioki, Mexico in 7 innings of high-pressure baseball. De Leon on the mound, Bocanegra at the plate, and that one is right over the second baseman, rolling into right center field. Base hit for the leadoff batter, Leonardo Bocanegra. Eric Alonso coming to the plate, facing Ronaldo de Leon, whom I don't know much about, but my colleague doing color today, Bandy Guzman.
Just a quick correction, is Ronaldo Lorenzo.
Ronaldo Lorenzo.
I think Coach Manolo Rangel is still tired from playing until 12:30, 1 o'clock this morning. So
Is that what we call it? Playing. All right. Well, we had some rain delays yesterday at both fields. Oh, that goes sailing over Alonso's head. Lorenzo, the pitcher, number 17, is Ronaldo Lorenzo. Yeah. Andrew De Leon is a player on the team as well for Laredo, so maybe that's where Coach Rangel, who is probably still sleepy-eyed this morning when he wrote up the roster. Ronaldo Lorenzo, I haven't seen him pitch, so maybe Valdi can give me a little insight as to what I'm looking at here.
Lorenzo is a incoming senior for JB Alexander. Great pitcher. What you're going to see from Lorenzo is a high fastball, 91, 92 tops, good curveball. He is heavily recruited this year, wow. So it's good to see him pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike to the batter. Alonso sits it right down third baseline. That's going to get past the third baseman. And here comes the speedy Bocanegra. He's going to try to get in, and it does. As Alonso bangs in a run with a double right down that third base line.
As you continue to play the good teams, there's the routine plays that you got to make. And that was a routine play that Laredo should have made right there by the third baseman.
Unfortunate, that one just got away from him. Like I said, routine play, but this heat, this tournament, long already. This is day 3. And some of these teams have been playing all 3 days.
And talking to my son yesterday, because they played the 11:30 game also yesterday.
High fly ball here in the infield. The third baseman getting under it, and out number 1 is recorded here in the top of the first inning. 1 out, 1 run is scored, and a runner at second base.
So talking to my son yesterday, after the game, he was tired. They were just tired, dehydrated. I mean, the heat plays a big part in
sure does.
In the game.
And the UISD field as well as this one is turf as well. So
yes.
So not very cool down there. Unforgiving, unrelenting heat. 105 degrees today. And that one is shot down third base as well. And that one gets past the third baseman. And here comes the runner, Alonso, who batted in a double RBI. Crosses the plate for run number 2 here in the top of the first inning. Lots of baseball to still be played, but you don't want to get too far behind. Both these teams, powerful teams, have the ability to score runs, but you don't want to get too far behind too early on. Number 1, Brent Jarowski. Jarowski, the shortstop for Palmview, takes one inside. Runner Christopher Ramos with a 2-base hit down the third baseline stands at second. 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes, runner at second. And that's a fly ball into shallow right field, and the right fielder stretched out gets it, and that is an out. And that is an out. That's a live ball.
He left early.
And that's out number 3. There you go. That was a fly ball into right field. The right fielder making a diving catch, scored the out, and the runner at second never saw it happen, stood on third base like a statue, and unfortunately, they were able to turn around and get him out back at second for the force out there. So 3 outs, but damage done. 2-run score here in the top of the first inning. Palmview leading Laredo 2-0, and we'll be right back. dog. That's how we do it. It's not a war limit. And we're back for the bottom half of the frame here. First inning, second game, third day of Pony Palomino World Series action. My colleague in the color box next to me, Valdi Guzman, former high school and collegiate standout. At the plate, number 14, Enrique Loyola, the second baseman, will face the right-hander from Palmview, number 3, Jaime Palacios. This is the first time I see Palacios on the mound here. The last game was played over at the Student Activity Center, the Bill Johnson Student Activity Center. Bill Johnson, a longtime supporter of baseball, youth athletics, pony and little league here. Strike 2, passed away a few years ago. Miss him to this day. Great contributor and mentor to a lot of us here. Great banker, by the way, too. Bill Johnson, Student Activity Center, named in his honor. Loyola at the plate. Palacios on the mound. 2 strikes. And a ball goes thrown to him. 88 miles an hour. Some high heat coming. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody on. No runs scored so far in the bottom of the first inning. The leadoff batter for Laredo, Enrique Loyola, at the plate. Temperatures already 105, sun directly above us here at 130. And that one goes high to the air, foul ball. Into souvenir land. Wind is pretty calm, about 3 miles an hour coming out of the north. Had storms roll in on us yesterday that delayed a couple of games. And these boys played late into the night, and here they are again in the midday sun on a Sunday afternoon in Laredo, Texas. Loyola at the plate, Palacios on the mound. The right-hander winds and delivers a foul ball. Got to make him earn this one. And at this point in the tournament, Valdi, you got to imagine the pitch counts are starting to take a toll on some of these players.
Yes. I mean, being coaching, I'll talk about Coach Manuel Rangel. You got to juggle, you got to know when to pull them out, starting since Saturday, since yesterday. It seems that we've been playing for like 2 or 3 days already, and it's only been 1 day, so you got to know how to manage.
Absolutely. Foul tip there by Loyola, keeping himself alive there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody on. Bottom of the second, trailing 2-0 to Palmview. Palmview from the Rio Grande Valley here playing in Laredo, Texas. No strangers to our border city. Good competitors from Palmview. Palacios on the mound takes that wind, and Loyola punches that right back to shortstop. And Loyola beats the throw as the foot came off the bag a little bit. First baseman for Palmview, Victor Rodriguez, kind of lifted his foot, and that back heel came off the base, and the ump was right there to catch it all in living color. Calls it safe. The first baseman for Laredo, the second batter in the lineup, Andrew De Leon, with a runner at first, nobody out, facing Palacios here at game number 2 of the day. The pitch, high and outside. Good speed on it, 86 miles an hour.
And I was going to say, you see both Palacios and Lorenzo, very similar pitching styles. They're both in the upper 80s with the fastball, 88, 89, and then they come down with the breaking stuff at 72. So very similar pitchers.
And that helps both of these teams, since they both have pitchers on their practice rosters that they manage well. And that was a fly ball by De Leon deep into center field, caught by the center fielder, Julio Sierra. Julio Sierra making out number 1 for Palmview. So with 1 out and 1 runner on, the third batter in the lineup here, Brighton Clements, the shortstop, steps up to the plate to face Palacios with number 8, Hector Cadena, in the on-deck circle. And the pitcher Palacios wants to check in on Loyola, who's over at first, beat out the throw to get the first base. Clements, the shortstop, also a really good player. Here from Laredo, Texas. Palacios on the mound, delivers, and that one goes into the parking lot. Hope the guys from State Farm, Jake from State Farm, is out there to cover it.
And we talk about pitch count, Gene, since yesterday, you know, but now it's a do or die. So hey, you got to throw everybody in there. You got to win to play the next day, you know. So
I agree, and that, you know, saw it in that previous game. It looked like Milwaukee Mexico had run out of pitchers, and they left one in there way too long, and 9 runs were batted in the top of the 7th. Youngstown was trailing by 7 and wins the game by 2. So great job in the game before, and here we go. 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first, and Clements battling Palacios takes ball 2. I'm sorry, ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 runner on. Bottom of the opening inning of game number 2, day number 3. Pony Palomino World Series action here in Laredo, Texas. Temperatures already rising above the 100-degree mark. Hot, 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 but that is Laredo. Always hot. We get a few days of something that looks like spring, something that looks like winter, and then a protracted fall and a long, hot summer. And we're in the dog days of summer. La Canicula, as it's known around here. And these turf fields add another 5-10 degrees to the temperature. So you can imagine what these boys are feeling down there. Not to mention the umpire. There goes runner. The speedy Loyola is caught at second base, stealing the catcher for Palmview. Christopher Ramos, from his seated position, throwing out the runner at second base. Loyola with a set of wheels on him, and he still got caught.
It was a good play by the second baseman.
Last game we saw Rascon, one of the players for Mexico, take a dive into second base to try to get a double play, and may have hit himself so hard in the face that he started to bleed, and that got all sorts of medical attention out there to him. Player safety is most important, but what a great play there at second base by the second baseman and the catcher for that accurate throw. Number 14, leading off for Palmview here, Victor Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the first baseman for Palmview. On the mound for Laredo, Ronaldo Lorenzo. Coach Rangel riding De Leon on the roster. We're going to have to give him a couple noogies when we see him here at the break. Lorenzo on the mound. Rodriguez at the plate, and he takes strike one from Lorenzo. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody on. Top of the second inning. Palmview, the visitor. Laredo, the host home team. Here at game number 2 of the day. Day number 3. Swing and a miss by Rodriguez for strike 2. 88 miles an hour from Lorenzo. Ronaldo Lorenzo. Enough R's to roll us over there. Great play by these two teams over the last couple of days. And that shot is right over the second baseman. And 1 base hit there for Rodriguez, the first baseman. And now the designated hitter, number 11, Larry Guzman, coming up to the plate. Number 17, the tall right-hander Ronaldo Lorenzo, going to face Larry Guzman, who has had a good tournament so far. Leadoff runner there at first. Lorenzo winds and throws, and Guzman showing bunt. 86 mile an hour. 0-1 the count. 1 runner on, nobody out. Top of the second inning.
So I try and tell kids, whenever I get a chance to work with them, you see whenever you have a runner at first base, as a third baseman, you're trying to pick up the hands of the batter and see if they're going to bunt. And then also the first baseman can sometimes catch the runner leaning towards second base, so that's when you know that they're going to steal or something like that.
There you go.
So it's just little things that you got to pick up.
Small indicators, right, that you got to pick up.
Yes, sir.
The nuances of baseball.
Yes, sir.
Guzman, the designated hitter, again showing bunt, takes a ball inside from Lorenzo. Ronaldo Lorenzo. Manolo Rangel in his comfortable position outside of the dugout, leaning against the fishnet there. High fastball by Ronaldo Lorenzo. Runner at first, no outs. Top of the second frame, live from Unitrade Stadium. Game brought to you by Southern Sanitation and Southern American Live Doppler Radar. Palmview, having lost the game as well, is trying to stay in the tournament, as is Laredo. This is the game between two teams who have lost a game in a double elimination tournament, and they are trying to keep the dream alive, trying to make it into the championship bracket. A shot at the title is all we're looking for. We just want a shot at the title. Guzman showing bunt and pulls back. 3-2 count.
It's a foul ball. You tipped the ball.
And it looks like he did tip the ball.
Yes.
And Manolo Rangel is going out there to pick that up. Stretching his legs a little bit.
I think the catcher got hit, Galvan got hit. So he's giving Galvan a little time to recover.
There you go. Good. General does that for his team. The field general, Manolo Rangel. With a full count and a runner on, Guzman waits the pitch from Lorenzo, and that is a high fastball. Going to be ball 4, and that puts 2 runners on, with the next batter coming up, Santiago Hernandez, the right fielder, number 2, Santiago Hernandez. Oh, here comes number 18, Coach. Stepping out of the dugout, wanted to have a quick conversation with his folks. Not quite sure what he's looking to do or why he's looking to do it, but here he goes.
Sure, they're talking about the bunt coverage, what they're going to do. Runners first and second, nobody out. The book of baseball tells you it's time to bunt, you know, so now they're just talking about who's going to cover where and stuff like that. So.
Correct. A little strategy conversation there.
Yes, sir. And give Lorenzo some time also to cool down.
Settled into his game here. It's only the top of the second inning. And the coach making his walk back to the dugout. Slowly, gingerly. A little more time. A little more time. So all I need is a little more time. Number 2, Santiago Hernandez in the batter's box, ready to go with runners at second and first. Nobody out. Top of the second. Pony Palomino World Series action, and the pitch. And the bunt is foul. Number 2. So a question coming in from folks on YouTube here. Isn't the batter out bunting with 2 strikes?
Yes, he is, but he only had 1 strike. It was a 3-1 count when he bunted. Yes, sir.
So it's a 3-1 count,
yes.
Not a 2.
Not a 3-2 count.
Yep, not a 3-2 count.
Whatever count.
And that pops up in the air, and that's saved. The first baseman trying to get that, unable to reach it in time, will load the bases. Will load the bases here in the top of the second inning, and the left-handed batter stepping into the batter's box is Julio Sierra, the center fielder, with nobody out, bases loaded. Ronaldo Lorenzo fires away. Ball 1 to Sierra. Sierra, for those living north of the Mason-Dixon line, Sierra, or north of Nueces County. Julio Sierra takes ball 2 from Lorenzo. Bases loaded, 87-mile-an-hour pitch there. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. All the bases covered. And the pitch from Lorenzo, high and outside, ball 3. So with a 3 count, 3-ball count, no strikes, let's see what the batter is going to do and what Lorenzo does. And he walks in a run here. Number 21, Julio Sierra, walks to first, and number 14, Victor Rodriguez, crosses the plate for run number 3 here in the second frame of the game. 2 runs scored in the first, 1 here in the second, and it's 3-0 Palmview. You got to imagine that the heat's starting to take its toll on everybody here. Something you don't normally see, a runner sitting on his helmet there at second base. Boy, if my coach ever saw me sitting on my helmet, I would be in trouble, especially my football helmet. That was trouble. The late, great Bill Young was a coach when I was in elementary. He used to chase us around with his whistle lanyard.
But on the other hand, because I said I was going to say his name, you have people like Orlando Navarro that are used to sitting on the bench.
That's true.
Yeah, on the bench, on the helmet, whatever it might be.
I remember when Coach Mejia, God rest his soul, told Orlando, go to your spot and start taking your practice shots from there. And there's Orly sitting on the bench shooting 3-pointers. And the windup, and that one goes high into right field. Right fielder's lining that up. The runner's going to tag and go. Will there be a play at home? And there could have been, but ball bounces away from the catcher, and run number 4 scores. So Palmview leads 4-0 here at the top of the second inning with the sacrifice RBI into right field. And coming up to bat will be number 5, Eric Alonso, Leonardo Bocanegra, sacrifice fly to right field, allowing 1 run to score, 1 out, runners in scoring position, and Lorenzo delivers a high fastball, ball 1. Orlando Navarro, the legend from San Agustin, good Catholic high school, good Catholic boy.
With no talent.
And that one goes flying in the right field as well. And the runner tags as well, and there's going to be another run scored. So 2 sacrifice RBIs, both in the right field. Runner holds at second. Palmview now leads 5-0. Our good friend Orlando Navarro, former city planner, back into development for one of the big companies. In fact, his parent company, owners of Southern Sanitation, Killam Industries, Killam Companies. Only high school athlete I know to wear his wife's Letterman's jacket. Strike 1 to the batter, number 6, Teodoro Estudio. Kathy Hagee Navarro, a state champion in volleyball. Swing and a miss by Estudio for strike 2. 2 outs. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the second as we watch the Pony Palomino World Series game between Palmview and Laredo, and that one was a chopper to third, foul ball. Wardy was asked to come in and do a little color with us and maybe stand behind the mic for a little while. Couldn't make it. Kathy had him cleaning bathrooms and scrubbing the kitchen clean. Of course, Kathy does all the hard work outside. She loved. Oh, and that shot is into center field. It's going to get past the center fielder. That's going to roll all the way to the warning track. The center fielder gets it, throws it in. Will they hold him up? And they do at third. So that triple knocks in another run, and now Palmview leads 6-0. Great job by the bats of the Palmview Rebels as they add another 4 in this inning. Number 16, Christopher Ramos, the catcher. And Manolo Rangel is now going to visit the mound. And what's he calling for? What does he want? A lefty, a righty? What's he got in the bullpen? That's a good question. Yes, with all the pitch counts that you've got to monitor. If you're going to stay alive in the tournament, it's now personnel. What do I got? What do I use? And the field general, Manolo Rangel, making the call for someone coming out of the bullpen. And we'll see who that is. Ronaldo Lorenzo being roughed up by the Palmview Rebels here in the first 2 innings, has seen the last pitch and is headed to the dugout.
And you can tell a lot from a team with their body language, and you can see Laredo a little bit down. It's going to be important for them to get out of this inning and then come back and score a couple of runs, but you can tell by their body language that they're down.
And that usually happens, when you get roughed up like that. But let me tell you, if you saw the game earlier between Youngstown, Ohio and Milwaukee, Mexico, the score was 4-11 at the end of 5. And the game winds up 13-12 with Youngstown, Ohio coming back, scoring 9 runs in the last inning to win the game. So miracles do happen. Got to stay alive, got to stay in the game, got to stay focused. Lots of baseball still to be played for Laredo, so hopefully they turn it around. Palmview is going to do the very best to keep adding runs and to torch them as best they can in this Laredo 107-degree heat. Humidity only 33%, only 33%. That's enough to drench a t-shirt in 2 minutes from the car to the concession stand. Not very cool in Laredo this time of the year. This is the hottest part of the year for us. Hottest part of the year for this area. And this is why we get lots of hurricanes in the month of August and September, because the Gulf waters are very, very warm. Number 7, number 7, who I don't see on the roster. There he is, Angel Villafranca Villarreal. Angel Villafranca Villarreal, AVV, on the mound for Laredo. Christopher Ramos, the catcher, at the plate. Palmview leading Laredo with 2 outs here. Top of the second inning, 6-0. AVV on the mound delivers strike 1 to Ramos. 84-mile-an-hour pitch from Angel Villafranca Villarreal. And we're going to call him AVV for the next couple of innings, as he's got a runner at third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. And a hot, blistering Sunday afternoon game, day 3 of Pony Palomino World Series action. Shout out to our friends at UISD, the Bill Johnson Student Activity Center, where games were being played earlier today and yesterday, and some on Friday.
AVV is a graduate of Alexander High School. Always a key player for the Alexander runs in the playoffs.
And here he is today trying to stem the flow of runs from Palmview. 6-0. That one goes out into the parking lot. Hope the Geico Lizard doesn't get hit in the head out there trying to cover a claim. Those are going to be all my insurance jokes, and hopefully out there in YouTube, either from the Valley or Mexico or anywhere in the world, if you own an insurance company, maybe you ought to be a sponsor of the Pony Palomino World Series live stream broadcast. Keeping this live stream free, no paywall, no subscription, no tokens required. Free, free, free. Thank you to our sponsors for that. And they also help cover the cost of our camera crews and production staff, the folks that come out to help us every year, training tomorrow's videographers and broadcasters. Valdi and I are old school. We're great for radio. Don't put us on live TV. We may scare small children. Saw the legendary athlete from Eagle Pass, Texas earlier, Jesus Olivares, former city manager of City Laredo, instrumental in getting this facility built here in Laredo. Foul tip. Out in the lobby, watching the games from the blue tents over the Pony organization. AVV, 3 balls, 2 strikes to the batter, number 16, Christopher Ramos, the catcher. Here in the top of the second inning with 2 outs and a runner at third. Trying to add to their lead, Ramos facing AVV, Angel Villafranca Villarreal, and that is a chopper foul down third base.
Gino, on a side note, just want to say thank you to you and your staff. You guys have been great professional, great video, great everything. So thank you on behalf of a lot of people, I'm sure.
Well, thank you. We do appreciate that. This is going to be our 5th year doing this, and we've enjoyed it every single time. This actually gave life to a whole new. And that's strike 3 for Ramos. That ends the inning. Good job by AVV shutting it down, but not before Palmview scores 4 runs here in the top of the second. And we'll be right back as we wait for the Laredo bats to come to life. For 50 years, Southern Sanitation has been managing the waste disposal needs of the city of Laredo and the surrounding communities, doing its part in helping keep the community clean. Call Southern Sanitation at 956-723-3333 and let us help you manage all your waste disposal needs. Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. And we're back for the bottom of the second inning here. Palmview, Texas leading the host team Laredo 6-0. Hector Cadena, the third baseman, stepping into the batter's box to face the pitcher for Palmview, Jaime Palacios, here at the bottom of the second, trailing 6-0. And that's a chopper right back to the pitcher. Over to first and out. Outstretched arm and leg of number 14, Victor Rodriguez, to make sure that out sticks. Number 17, Ronaldo Lorenzo, stepping into the batter's box. Highly recruited young man, waiting for his opportunity here as he settles in against Jaime Palacios, the pitcher for Palmview. Trailing 6-0. Takes ball one from Palacios. So we've had scouts here, Bali, you were saying, from different schools and a couple majors.
Yes, we had the Tampa Bay Rays down here, UTRGV, Division I school down here. TAMU, our local university, was down here. So
good opportunity for these kids to be seen. This is why this is such a great tournament. That and the Border Olympics is another big baseball tournament that happens here. Get a lot of teams coming to play in that one. The count 1-1, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Palacios throws one in the dirt for 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out to Ronaldo Lorenzo. Number 11 on deck here for Laredo, Jeremy Gabriel in the on-deck circle. And that one goes straight up into the air. Is that playable or is that a souvenir? That's a souvenir. Palacios, tall, lanky, hard throwing right-hander, facing a hard throwing right-hander to his own right, Ronaldo Lorenzo. Lorenzo, number 17, standing in the batter's box, waiting for that windup from Palacios, and here it comes, and that's low. So a full count for Lorenzo. Palacios with one out here in the bottom of the second inning, comfortably ahead, 6-0. Palmview here in the bottom of the second. Plenty of baseball still to be played, and miracles do happen. We saw one earlier with Youngstown, Ohio. So Laredo just needs to keep their chin up and keep going, and that's going to be a walk. Lorenzo will head to first base. Palacios will walk towards the catcher to have a quick discussion with Christopher Ramos, his teammate, saying, don't worry about it. You got this. We're in control.
That was a good at bat by Lorenzo. Even though it was a walk, you have to pitch throw at least 7-8 pitches. So pitch count, the heat. So you got to make the pitcher work.
Absolutely, got to earn the outs here. And when pitch counts become critical, as they do here on the third day of a long 4-day tournament, pitch counts become paramount. And Palacios winds and throws the first one, strike to Gabriel. Jeremy Gabriel, the left-handed batter, having a good tournament as well. High school standouts. This is an all-star team featuring players from just about every high school except Orlando Navarro's alma mater, San Agustin. They have great players as well, but some had commitments already this summer and couldn't play. And of course, we weren't going to bring Orlando Navarro here anyway because he didn't want to join us in the booth.
Well, I do have a question for you about Orlando Navarro.
All right, so Orly, we're going to make an Orly a legend here. Vali, ask the question.
So if Laredo would be hosting this Pony World Series back when Orlando was in high school, would he be on the team?
Yes, he would. Every team needs an equipment manager. Sorry, Orly, we asked you to be here to defend yourself, and you didn't make it. So we'll invite you back. We've got a big game Monday night. Well, hopefully you'll join us. Folks out there in YouTube, apologize for the commentary. Thank you for indulging us in our gentle ribbing of our good friend Orlando Navarro. We're hoping you all ask about him later on, saying, who is Orlando Navarro? We'll tell you. It's like, where is Waldo? Who is Orly? We have a good time up here in the press box in the booth, room Radio A at Unitrade. Usually very, very quiet, but today with my color commentator Valdi Guzman, we're going to have a good laugh at the expense of my good friend Orlando Navarro. And that one is shot to shortstop. Quick opportunity for a double play, but the second baseman slipping on the bag, unable to turn the 6-4-3 double play. 2 outs, runner at first, and now number 10, Orlando Guzman, steps into the batter's box. His first at bat here in the second frame of game number 2, day number 3, Pony Palomino World Series action in Laredo, Texas. The hottest place on earth, I bet, this afternoon.
Yes, it is.
Scorcher with only 32% humidity. That's enough to steam your rice. It is hot out here, and it is just the coastal breeze. We're about 150 miles from Corpus Christi, about 150 miles from San Antonio, 150 miles from Monterrey, Mexico, the industrial town of northern Mexico. Shortstop, second base, almost lets it get away. Out number 3, and that does it for the side. And as I was saying, we're 150 miles from everywhere and about 3 feet from HE double hockey sticks. It is hot in Laredo, Texas. And we'll be right back after this brief commercial message. Here we are back, top of the third inning. Palmview leadoff batter number 1, Brent Jarowski. The shortstop for Palmview, facing the what looks like a new pitcher here, AVV, who had come in relief of Ronaldo Lorenzo. Ronaldo Lorenzo taking leave early after getting shellacked by the Palmview Bats. Palmview leading 6-0. Jarowski bounces one to shortstop. Shortstop safe at first. First baseman drifting away from the bag on an errant throw from the shortstop, Brighton Clements. First baseman Andrew De Leon having to step away from the bag to keep that from running away from him.
Those are the plays that Laredo has to make, those routine plays.
Absolutely, and that's the key. Consistency at the plate, that's what keeps you in the game. And right now when you're trailing 6-0, those routine plays are what you need to make. Number 14 for Palmview, Victor Rodriguez, the first baseman, trying to add to the tally here. Has a runner at first, nobody out, 1 ball, no strikes. AVV tosses ball number 2 to him. Now, Orly did play a little college ball. We were not going to take that away from him. We're fair.
That's true.
San Agustin, he went on to play at Tarkio College. The college shut down shortly after Orly got there.
After or before you got there?
I think they closed the door when they got to the first step. He rang the doorbell and said, "There's nobody here." The Rodney Dangerfield of San Agustin, Orlando, says, "I get no respect here. Tarkio College told me, come on over, there's nobody home." He gets there, there's nobody home. Tarkio College, home of some great athletes, student athletes who went to play there. Irvi Trevino and Amesqua,
Superintendent
George Elizondo, Boyle,
yes, sir.
Heading over there. Now in Laredo, you gotta, if you're anybody in Laredo, Texas, you gotta have a nickname, and we've got some nicknames out there. Pollo, the chicken. George Elizondo played at Tarkio, exceptional defensive back for the city of Laredo here at Laredo United High School. Number 11, Larry Guzman, the designated hitter, facing off against Angel Villafranca Villarreal, and the runner is aggressively going to go, and he's safe at third. Aggressive base running by Palmview as they try to add to their lead here. Guzman, the DH, facing Angel Villafranca Villarreal, now has runners at the corners with no outs, 1 ball to Guzman, no strikes, and the pitch is high, ball 2. Orly, a catcher in high school, was it not?
That's correct.
Our good friend Orlando, a catcher at San Agustin High School, San Agustin Knights, who now have football to add to their athletic department. Baseball, basketball, football, and of course on the girls' side, they also have volleyball. Famous for their volleyball because they've got made the state tournament. Kathy Navarro, Orly's better half, state volleyball player, state volleyball champion. And the field general Rangel here for Laredo Pony, wondering what do I got to do to wake up my team here as they're down 6-0. Runners at scoring position, second and third. Guzman, the DH, turns his head to avoid the little chin music he got from AVV. 3 balls, no strikes, nobody out, 2 runners on. Top of the third inning here in Laredo, Texas, as the weather heats up, and so does the baseball action. The delivery from AVV, and that's a strike. Guzman thought he had himself a free ride to first base. Come on back, young man. We got to do this again. AVV, Angel, Villafranca, Villarreal. We could take all inning mentioning this young man, so we're just going to keep it short. AVV pitching to Larry Guzman, and that's a blooper right here at first base. Infield fly. Out number 1 is recorded.
That's a big out for AVV.
With 2 runners on in scoring positions. And number 2, Santiago Hernandez, a right fielder, coming in.
Now batting number 2, Santiago Hernandez.
AVV hoping to get out of this inning with no runs scored. High fly ball into right field. Right fielder charging, and he's going to hold the runner at third. Outstanding. As he charged it and was ready to fire it in, and the runner decided to stay at third. So no runs yet, 2 outs, 2 runners on, and here comes Julio Sierra, the center fielder. Left-handed batter stepping into the box against AVV, the right-handed reliever who relieved Ronaldo Lorenzo, who exited early. And that's a strike. 0-1 the count with 2 outs. 84-mile-an-hour pitch there.
Now batting number 21, Julio Sierra.
Okay, quick shout out to our good friend Chuy Romero also, who was a San Agustin Knight. Famous shot put story for Chuy Romero. Great friend of Pony. A couple years ago, arranged for a life flight to bring in a softball to be used for the ceremonial first pitch for the Girls World Series. Works for a great company, Life Flight. Not one of our sponsors, but we don't mind mentioning because they do great work here in the city of Laredo. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We are in the top of the 3rd inning. Palmview leading 6-0 over the host team Laredo. And that's inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm sorry, 2-2 the count. 2's all around. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. In the top of the 3rd inning, in the 2nd game of the 3rd day here at Pony Palomino World Series, brought to you by Southern Sanitation and Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic. That's high. Ball 3, full count with 2 on and 2 outs. Broadcast brought to you by Advanced Spine Pain Solution. If you're from Palmview, Harlingen, McAllen, Edinburgh, far San Juan Alamo, Mission, Dr. Marta Martinez has a clinic there in Edinburgh. If you've got any kind of pain, that's who you see. Swing and a miss, strike 3, foul tip caught by the catcher, and that is it for the inning. No runs scored. 2 men left stranded on base, and it is 6-0 Palmview as we head into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Animo al cuadro, as they say. For 50 years, Southern Sanitation has been managing the waste disposal needs of the city of Laredo and the surrounding communities, doing its part in helping keep the community clean. Call Southern Sanitation at 956-723-3333 and let us help you manage all your waste disposal needs. Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service.
Life is full of great moments, special moments, shared with friends, family, and loved ones. But for some, pain deprives us from fully enjoying these moments. If chronic pain is keeping you from fully enjoying life, there is hope. Hi, I'm Dr. Marta Martinez. At Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, we're dedicated to treating our patients with the most advanced and compassionate care possible. Visit us for an evaluation and let our experienced staff help you get back to living a pain-free life.
we're back live here, number 9, for Pony Palomino World Series action from Laredo. Alejandro Galvan and Manolo Rangel writing a prescription to the folks upstairs here. Alejandro Galvan, the batter, facing Jaime Palacios, the pitcher for Palmview, takes strike 1 from Palacios. We are at the bottom of the 3rd inning in the 3rd day of Pony Palomino World Series action, game number 2 this morning. Now bleeding into the afternoon, 2:24 here in Laredo, Texas. At this time yesterday, we were headed into our afternoon siesta, escaping the heat. Games usually not played between 2 and 6 because of the heat. This one got started late because of a barn burner between Youngstown and Mexico, and here it's a little high, and he's safe. Victor Rodriguez kept it from going over his head, but unable to land in time to secure the out at first. So maybe Laredo's got the makings of a little something here with the leadoff batter getting over to first base. The courtesy runner, number 5, comes in. Michael Guerra. Is that right? Guerra or Guevara?
Guevara.
I'm going to say it's Guevara.
Yes, I agree.
We're going to go with Guevara until somebody tells us differently. Number 12, Antonio Sanchez at the plate with the courtesy runner at first. Swing and a miss. Foul tip there. Sanchez, a center fielder, set of wheels on him, has had a good tournament, had a great game in a losing effort the other night. As we continue the Pony Palomino World Series action here live from Unitrade Stadium, courtesy of Southern Sanitation and Southern American Live Doppler Radar. Our good friends, this new sponsor this year, Ringo's Barbecue. Ringo's, home of legendary barbecue and burgers, the Tombstone Challenge. They also have breakfast. If you didn't know that, you're missing out on the good stuff. Ringo's Barbecue. The pitch count 2-1 to Sanchez. Nobody out, runner at first. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Catcher Christopher Ramos walking up, having a chit chat. Blue looking on like, what in the wide world of sports is going on here? Come on, fellas, let's get going. It's hot in this black uniform out here. And that turf is unrelenting in this 109-degree weather here, as that thermometer keeps inching forward. Wind speeds a calm 5 miles an hour, not much of a breeze. Flags just draped on their poles there, no movement. On the mound for Palmview, Jaime Palacios has been masterful so far. Not allowed any runs. Here in the bottom of the 3rd, the score is 6-0 Palmview. Next game will be at 6 o'clock. We'll find out who that is and we'll let you know. Palmview, Laredo, duking it out right here, 2:30 here in Laredo. And that's a walk. So Sanchez now gets on base. The courtesy runner Guevara is on at second. And here comes number 14, the top of the order, Enrique Loyola, the second baseman.
Laredo needs to make something happen here. It's top of the lineup. They need to start chipping away. They're still playing their game, like you mentioned before. But they need to start chipping away right here with the top of the lineup.
You need it. 6-0. Got to do something. You've got no outs, 2 on, and the top of the order in. It's a good scenario for you, but Palacios is going to do his fair level best to keep that from happening. 1 ball, no strikes to Loyola. Palacios looks over at the runner at second and returns his look to Loyola and fires low, ball 2. On deck, Andrew De Leon. Both of these players, Loyola, who's in the box, De Leon, who's in the on-deck circle, can drive runs. They have good bats. Okay. And coach from Palmview walks out into the afternoon sun to have a conversation with Jaime Palacios to discuss what do we do. Always reminds me of that scene from Bull Durham when they're all having a conversation about what to get Jenny for her wedding. Of course, Julio's got a curse on his glove. Lelouch's eyelids are jammed. And there's a question about the wedding gift for Jenny. When coach goes out there and resolves everything pretty quickly, Candlesticks is a good offer, good option. See where they're registered? All right, here we go. Coach has got it all resolved, and we go back.
It's one of the best baseball movies out there.
Absolutely. And it's centered around minor league baseball, which is a big part of Americana, especially out on the East Coast. The Durham Bulls featured in that movie, starring Kevin Costner and Tim Robbins. Swing and a miss by 14 Loyola. Palacios, 2-1 the count. Nobody out. Runners at second and first. De Leon on deck. Laredo trails 6-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning on a hot Sunday afternoon, and that goes into the net. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Number 3, Andrew De Leon, hoping to get a chance to drive some runs in as well. Waits patiently for his turn. But first, Loyola, he can help his team right here, who's trailing 6-0. Nothing spectacular, just got to get a ball through to advance my runners. Top of the order with no outs, Loyola at the plate, followed by De Leon, Clements, and Cadena. All might have a shot at closing the gap here. And that's on the ground. Nice scoop by the 3rd base ump. Good, healthy live stream today. We had some issues in the second game yesterday. Unitrade IT folks gracious to come out of the cold cave into the heat to come out and help us with the internet, restoring the connection that we had lost. Apologize profusely to the folks from Azusa, California, although some of them were not very nice, as Orly would say. Loyola, the leadoff, the top of the order, for Laredo, has a 2-2 count with nobody out and 2 on as they try to get something started here in the bottom of the 3rd. And he does. That one lands fair. And here comes one. And Laredo is on the board. And there is signs of life in the 3rd base dugout as Laredo gets on the board. Loyola, the top of the order, smacking that one just over the 3rd baseman's head into left field, scoring 1 run. So here comes De Leon to face Palacios with runners in scoring position and no outs. And Manolo Rangel over at first base, giving away his signals there. Could not understand what he was trying to say. Hey, Valdi, you know, there was a time when I was on city council once during budget, and I was asking questions of our city manager. I could have sworn the city manager, who's a baseball fanatic, was giving signals to the department directors on how to answer. Denied it. To this day, denies that he ever gave signals to those directors, but I know they were arms brushing and ear lobe grabbing, brow wiping. If he had a baseball cat, he'd probably tipped it twice to let him know, don't answer the question unless I tell you.
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
Yes, sir.
Famous exchange between the fire chief and I once, when I said, well, wait a minute, you're the fire chief. Ball is straight up in foul territory. The catcher trying to get under it, and he does. And so that is out number one for Laredo. 2 runners on in scoring position. Number 2 coming to the plate. Brighton Clements, the shortstop, trying to add to something that has already started here with 1 run already in.
Clements is due right here. He's been a little bit off the past couple of games, so he is due. He's due right now.
Palacios on the mound, the starter for the Palmview Rebels. Winds and delivers, and that one's into the parking lot. Hope Dennis Haysbert with Allstate's back there. Or maybe it's Mayhem. Again, we're plugging for an insurance sponsor sometime next year. We'll see who steps up to the plate. Maybe my good friend Marcus Moreno, maybe Araceli Ramos Gonzalez, Kevin Romo. My condolences to Kevin. Father passed away over the weekend. Good man, Dan Romo. And that's a foul ball. Palmview 6, Laredo 1. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 1 run is scored. There are 2 men on base right now. Clements, trying to keep this rally going, has 1 out.
Laredo needs to find a way to get those 2 runs home. They need to start chipping away. Like I was mentioning before, they need to start chipping away and get back into the game.
That's how Youngstown, Ohio started, and then all of a sudden the floodgates opened for them. They were able to score 9. So doable, absolutely. Does Jaime Palacios want that? Not a chance. He's going to fight you tooth and nail there from the mound. Number 2, Clements in the box. 2 runners on, 1 out, 2 strikes to Clements. And the windup here is ball 1. So 1-2 the count. We were hoping to have Orlando Navarro, the legend, the myth, the man, or just Orly, come join us here in the press box, but has not made it. I hope he's watching the game on YouTube. Unless he's taking a Sunday siesta. Well, that one gets away a little bit from the catcher there. 2-2 the count.
Or doing laundry.
Could be doing laundry. He's been known to do laundry really, really well. Orly, fully domesticated. Orly. Orly's a good man. 3 beautiful daughters, beautiful wife. Friend to a lot of folks. We love to have him here. We poke at him because we want him here close to us. And that one goes over. Shout out to Richard Rosas, the president of Laredo Pony. Richard recovering from a illness recently. Doing well, but he's here in attendance, was here for the ceremonies. Great contributor to youth sports in Laredo, especially Laredo Pony.
He was also talking about his high school days earlier this morning.
That's right. You know, the stories are always larger than they are. And that one is into center field. Center fielder is going to grab that, and the runner's going to tag, and decides maybe I shouldn't, as that center fielder hit the cutoff man just right. Center fielder for Palmview, Julio Sierra. And so now Hector Cadena, cleanup, batting third, steps into the batter's box with opportunity to bring in 2 runs that are currently waiting to come home, 2 outs. And Palacios trying to pitch his way out of this jam.
Cadena has tremendous power. He had a 3-run bomb last night over at the sack.
There you go. So we know that it's possible. And so ball 1, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Cadena, the power hitter, third baseman for Laredo, looking to add some more runs here. They've got 1. And they've got 2 on base now, hoping not to leave them stranded. And that's a high pop-up in foul territory, just gets away from everyone. Hops and bounces into the stands there.
And that's what happened last night. He also hit a fly ball, pop out to first base just in foul territory, lost it, came back from the next pitch and hit a home run.
And maybe it'll replicate itself here at Unitrade today, because they could use it. They're trailing here by 5, 6-1, bottom of the third inning. And what can be described as a scorcher, as our Southern American live Doppler radar indicates that the weather has gone to 109 in the temperature, gotten hotter, and the wind is completely non-existent right now. No real breeze out there. And with the sun directly above us here at 2:40 p.m., it is hot. Number 17 on deck, Ronaldo Loyola, looking to get back into the game. Number 8, Cadena smacks that one into right, and it's going to be an out. So 2 runners are left stranded. Opportunity to close the gap fades with a fly ball out to right field, out number 3, and Laredo trails 6-1 here at the end of 3 innings, and we'll be back for the top of the 4th. For the silence here, we're live. Our short break here. Top of the fourth inning, number 4. Top of the order, Leonardo Bocanegra facing Angel Villafranca Villarreal, AVV. On the mound for Laredo as they trail 6-1. Palmview leading here in the top of the fourth inning on a hot 109-degree field, plus a few more degrees for the turf. And hopefully the breeze will start to pick up here and we'll get a little movement because it is hot out there. Woo, inside close. And Bocanegra will walk to first here in the top of the fourth inning. This is third day of Pony Palomino World Series action here in Laredo. Games being played at the Student Activity Complex Center at UISD, as well as here at Unitrade Stadium. Number 5, Eric Alonso, the left fielder, in the batter's box against AVV. The first pitch is a ball. Villafranca coming in relief of Ronaldo Lorenzo has pitched now 2 innings here. Throws ball 2 to Eric Alonso. At first base is Leonardo Bocanegra, who walked. He was the leadoff batter for Palmview here in this inning. 1 on, no outs, 2-0 the count, and that's a strike. So opportunity lost in the last inning, Valde, when they had 2 runners on. You can't leave batters stranded.
You can, especially with the top of the lineup. I know Loyola came through with a big base hit, and then 2, 3, and 4 just couldn't get those runners across the plate.
And when you're playing championship baseball, everything is tight. Every team is good. All these teams great in their own right. So you can't let the little things like that get away from you. Bocanegra at first. Number 5, Eric Alonso at the plate. The count 3-1, no outs. And that's a strike. Alonso thought he had a bus ride to first base. Nope. Sir, come on back. We got more to go. Full count, nobody out, runner at first. Top of the fourth inning here at Pony Palomino World Series action. That's a foul. But that gets the thumb of the catcher, number
Alex Galvan.
Galvan.
Yes.
And Galvan's number here, I'll get that for you in a second. Alex Galvan. Boy, I can't find him on the roster here. I'm looking.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, it's number 9. Alejandro Galvan. Yeah, that's who it is. And number 5, the batter for Palmview, gets walked. Eric Alonso. So 2 runners on now. And our catcher for Laredo is Alejandro Galvan, and he is number 9. And he's the one who got his thumb caught by the batter. As he stood up, he was rubbing his thumb. He got a little ding from it. Angel Villafranca Villarreal on the mound. 2 runners on, nobody out. Number 6, Teodoro Estudillo at the plate, takes ball 1 from AVV. As the series tightens up, there'll be 2 more games here tonight. One at 6, the other at 8:30. And we'll see what the weather looks like, because that storm was a freak storm. We were not expecting, it was none in the forecast. And somewhere out of nowhere comes a storm that delays games both here and at the Student Activity Complex. I'm sure it delayed games at the Benavides Sports Complex. The 12-year-olds, playing under a little bit different rules, might have stayed up beyond their bedtime. And that's a strike. as our legendary DJ Art Trevino did. Stayed up beyond his bedtime over there. Got into work early today. Swing and a miss that bounces off the catcher. And the runners advance to scoring positions, but we record the first out of the inning as that one bounced off of Galvan, rolled down to third base, but the runner was already out, the batter was already out, and the two players got a chance to advance. Number 16, Christopher Ramos, the catcher for Palmview, facing Angel Villafranca Villarreal on the mound, and another foul tip. So Art comes in early in the morning, half asleep, puts on his favorite Grammy Award-winning yacht music. And that's what the audience had to hear for the first couple of games this morning, yacht music, as Art attempted to extend his sleep time just a little bit here at the office with the yacht music 1970s version. Angel Villafranca Villarreal delivers, and that shot is right across the bow all the way to center field, and 2 runs are going to score. The pitcher the cutoff man unaware that the runner had turned to home, held on to the ball a little longer, might have had a play at home, and run scores.
There was no communication between the catcher Galvan and De Leon, the first baseman, so De Leon wasn't aware that the runner was coming home.
Could have had a shot at it, coulda, shoulda, woulda, and unfortunately that adds 2 more runs to the tally. 8-1 here in the top of the 4th inning with 1 out and a runner at first. 2-run RBI shot by Ramos, the catcher. Number 1, Brent Jarowski, the shortstop. And Jarowski's spelling is really different. And so we needed to get a translator to help us with that name. Good folks over at Palmview were kind enough to help us with that pronunciation, Jarowski. Victor Rodriguez on deck. AVV on the mound, Jarowski at the plate, 1 runner on, 1 out, and that one goes foul into the net. If you're watching us out on YouTube, welcome to the broadcast. Hope you're enjoying it. Made possible by all our sponsors, no charge, no subscription, no paywall, no tokens, nothing needed, no ID required to watch the games here on YouTube /Laredo Pony or LaredoPony.org. Links to the games there. In the world of subscriptions and paywalls and all sorts of other ways that charges can be made, we provide this to you at no cost thanks to our great sponsors. And that shot high into left field is caught for out number 2. Southern American, Live Operator, and our title sponsor, Southern Sanitation. Our broadcast sponsor, Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic. Box score, you can see on your box score there, Advanced Spine Pain Solutions. Clinics in Laredo and in Edinburgh. Number 14, Victor Rodriguez. The first baseman steps into the batter's box to face off against AVV, the reliever. And he fires ball 1 to Rodriguez. Ringo's Barbecue, legendary barbecue burgers. They're on Highway 359 in Laredo, Texas, home of the Tombstone Challenge. Ringo's Barbecue and Burgers does breakfast as well, and if you tell them that you heard about it on the Pony Palomino World Series live stream, tell them you've got a code Pony 10, Pony 10, Pony 10, and you get 10% off your order. Foul down the third base line, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 runs have been scored, and Laredo trails 8-1 here in the second game of the Pony Palomino World Series tournament from Unit Trade Stadium. Shout out to UISD, swing and a miss. UISD Transportation coming to the rescue. They were shuttling our players back and forth from hotel to restaurant and to the field and back. Worked a late night last night due to the rain delays. And there goes the runner advancing to second, but it is strike 3 to Rodriguez. AVV has 2 runs come across and now trail 8-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And we'll be right back as we thank those sponsors who make this broadcast free. For 50 years, Southern Sanitation has been managing the waste disposal needs of the city of Laredo and the surrounding communities, doing its part in helping keep the community clean. Call Southern Sanitation at 956-723-3333 and let us help you manage all your waste disposal needs. Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. We're live. Ronaldo Lorenzo, number 17, comes into the batter's box, having exited the game earlier as he was the starting pitcher, and now returns to the lineup. Jaime Palacios still on the mound for Palmview, having allowed only 1 run. Coach is going to stick with him for a little while longer. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning here in Laredo, Texas. Pony Palomino World Series action. Shout out again to UISD. I was saying that the drivers had stayed up late because of the rain delays, but they also start early, 6 o'clock in the morning, getting their buses ready, getting out to the hotels, picking up these young men for breakfast if they need to do that. And and then getting them over to the fields. Danny Trevino and his staff over at UISD and LISD, new athletic director Luis Escamilla, thank you for your support and the help you've given us in the past. Our Parks Department, JJ Gomez, Tommy Ramirez, Anita Stanley, leadership over at Laredo Parks with their fields over at the Benavides Sports Complex. 3 balls, 1 strike to number 17, Lorenzo. Jaime Palacios in control of this game so far. Fires ball 4 to Lorenzo. Lorenzo earns a trip to first base. Number 11, Larry Guzman, the designator, number 11, Jeremy Gabriel, the left fielder. The left-hander for United will face the right-hander Palacios, who he has seen already. Let's see what kind of adjustments Gabriel has made to the throws that Palacios has made. And Palacios also adjusting, knowing what he's seen out of this batter as they lead 8-1. And that one goes out into left field, and that's going to be out number 1. And the runner will hold at first. So out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, trailing 8-1. Laredo trying to claw its way back into this. And if you were watching the earlier game today with Youngstown versus Mioki, Mexico, miracles do happen, dreams do come true, and you can claw your way back from a large deficit, as Youngstown, Ohio did. But Laredo's going to have to play some smart ball right here, Valde. What do you think?
They do. They had their chances in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nobody out, runners in 1st and 2nd with the top of the lineup. And you could kind of, you started to feel the momentum swinging a little bit towards the Laredo side. Nothing happened. Palmview comes back in the top of the 4th and scores 2 more runs, takes that momentum back.
Can't let that happen, especially this late into the tournament. And that's another fly ball, shallow. The shortstop drifting back, getting that. Great play by Brent Jarowski, the shortstop for Palmview, the Rebels. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 4th. Time is ticking away here against Laredo. And with a runner at first, number 9, Alejandro Galvan, the catcher, looking to get something started. As Michael Jackson would say, looking to get something started. Maybe our DJ can play that for us later on. That one looks like it might start something. Foul ball. Going in the opposite direction, sailing right over the first baseline into foul territory. Galvan trying to spark his team here. They trail by 7 in the bottom of the 4th. On 3rd day action, game number 2 here at Unitrade Stadium. 109 degrees out there. 3 o'clock sun. Only the lizards, my dad would say, were out at that hour during the summer. And that's a strike. 0-2 the count with 2 outs. But in those days, they let you run outside at 3 o'clock if you wanted. Just be home before the lights come on.
That's right.
Runner at first, number 9, Galvan at the plate. Palacios still on the mound, firmly in control as he fires his first ball to Galvan. 1-2 the count. Again, 2 outs here. New complex coming online for Laredo. We're talking about JJ Gomez and the leadership over at Laredo Parks, City of Laredo. The Buena Vista Sports Complex should be ready next year for this tournament. And that's going to go through the 4-hole all the way into right field. And again, life on the Laredo side here as Galvan punches one opposite field for for a single. Now they can just get some RBIs. Number 5, Michael Guevara, and we're going to keep it at Guevara until we get notice otherwise. Manolo Rangel, coach of the Laredo All-Star team here, giving us a prescription-style roster.
Number 12, Sanchez.
Antonio Sanchez, the center fielder, set of wheels on him and a good bat, all-around good player, hoping to spark something here in the bottom of the 4th with 2 runners on, and that one goes up and out over the back there. Gonna bounce off the first vehicle windshield it sees.
That's where Art Trevino parks his car.
Absolutely. No wonder that thing looks like it's been in a hailstorm. 0-1 the count, 2 outs. Art taking a long nap earlier today here in the office. Late night last night, early start this morning. Came in playing yacht music, Grammy Award-winning yacht music. Christopher Cross, Doobie Brothers, and a couple others. All golden oldies, one-hit wonders as well. Number 12, Sanchez. At the plate, Palacios still on the mound for Palmview. Delivers one low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Laredo trying to claw its way back into this, climb out of the hole they're in, down by 7. Sanchez with 2 runner on, opportunity to do something, and that's a strike. 2-2 the count to Sanchez. Palacios again firmly in control, 83 miles an hour after 4 innings here. Continues to dominate the Laredo bats. On deck, number 14, top of the order, Enrique Loyola. If Sanchez can do something here, Laredo has a chance with that top of the order coming on. Fouled into the net. But these are the opportunities you got to take advantage, Valdi.
You have to. You have to. Hopefully Sanchez can get on with a walk or base hit, and then you got the top of the lineup once again with Loyola.
Can't let these opportunities go by, but Palacios is going to try to make sure that happens. Closing the door here if he can. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners on, 2s all the way around. Palomino World Series action and the pitch, and that's a shot into center field, and that's going to drop. Outstanding shot by Sanchez to drop right in front of that center fielder, center left. And Laredo adds a run, and it begins to close the gap. And opportunity taken by Antonio Sanchez. So 2 runners on, 2 outs, and here comes the top of the order, Enrique Loyola. And even though you have 2 outs, rallies start with less.
Good piece of hitting by Sanchez. There were 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got a curveball, hanging curveball, and drove it to left center field.
And so Loyola with 2 runners on and 2 outs will try to keep this rally alive as Laredo fights back. Down by 6 here, 8-2 in the bottom of the 4th against Palmview Rebels, Palmview, Texas. And that's a strike. First base ump says, yeah, he went around. 0-1 the count, 2 outs, 2 on. Palacios on the mound, number 3, Andrew De Leon on the on-deck circle. And that is outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. 1 run scored so far this inning for Laredo. And 2 runners on. Another opportunity to add another run. Nothing spectacular needed, just a base hit, something to advance your runners. Number 14, top of the order, Enrique Loyola. Looks at another one. 2 balls, 1 strike. All that's needed. You know, Valdi, yesterday we were calling games, and every once in a while I'd kind of shake my leg because I kept feeling something poked me in my ankle, in my foot, in my heel. And this morning I take out this sheet metal screw from the bottom of my shoe. So I kept thinking there was a rock in my shoe, but I couldn't find it. But that was what was doing it, poking at me. It kept me awake the entire time, so that was a good thing. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners on. No sign of Orlando Navarro here either. That's a good thing. 14, Enrique Loyola, top of the order, in the batter's box, battling the starter, Jaime Palacios, as they try to add something here. They've got 1 run so far, opportunity right here to add some more, and the bases are now going to load with the bat of Andrew De Leon making its way to the plate. What can I expect here from De Leon, the strong hitter for Laredo?
De Leon has to be patient to start off with. He just walked Loyola. So De Leon has to come in here and be patient. Don't try and do too much, Get your pitch, drive your pitch, get a base hit. Little by little, you start coming back, but he has to be patient here.
And that's something that's hard to do when you're trailing. You're eager to do something, you want to start something, and sometimes it's hard to wait.
Don't try and do too much. Be patient.
All we need is a little.
Yes.
A little at a time gets us there. Bases loaded, 2 outs. De Leon at the plate, and that's fouled into the net. Palacios looking to close this inning out, get out of this jam he's in. He's got bases loaded. A good, strong hitter in the top of the order here with Andrew De Leon, the second in that lineup.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last hitter for Palacios. Either if he gets on base or gets an out, this is probably his last hitter right here.
And that's a grounder to second. Oh, and it gets by the second baseman and rolls all the way into the center field. Center fielder scooping that up. And De Leon does something. We needed a little something, and a little something's what we got. So with that, 2 runs will score, and Laredo goes from trailing by 7 to just down by 4 with 2 outs, runners at the corners. The second baseman not happy with what just happened to him. What looked like an easy out and end of an inning now makes Jaime Palacios have to work a little harder to close this. But the number 3 batter in the order, Brighton Clements, the shortstop, steps into the batter's box with runners at the corners with 2 outs. Palacios on the mound, the starter, delivers strike 1 to Clements. Excellent pitch.
Don't be surprised if Coach Manolo Rangel gets Andrew De Leon running here. We got runners in second and third with the good bat of Brighton Clements at the plate.
Palacios, the starter, must be weary at this point. And that one is high into left field, and the Palmview players got it right here. That's one of the challenges of the Press Box Run Radio A. You really have to stick your head out the window to see what's happening out in left field. But that is out number 3, and the door closes here. But Laredo does score a few runs to get a little closer, 8-4. Plenty of baseball still to be played here as we go to the top of the 5th inning. 3 more frames to go, so definitely an opportunity to catch up here. Let's see how Palmview responds after this, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Leadoff batter for Palmview, Texas, Jesus Garcia. Here at the plate, foul ball, number 7, Garcia making his first appearance in the game. Number 7 for Laredo, Angel Villafranca Villarreal on the mound. So the two 7s battled each other here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-1 the count. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 5th inning. First batter, Jesus Garcia, making his debut today at the Pony Palomino World Series in Laredo, Texas. Day 3, Game 2 action. Swing and a miss by Garcia. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 82 mile an hour from pitch from AVV. Laredo clawing its way back slowly but surely, trying to stay in the winner's bracket. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Garcia goes down swinging. AVV, 3 pitches, and he retires it. So, number 2 for Palmview, Santiago Hernandez, the right fielder, at the plate. AVV on the mound, and that's a foul ball. Nobody on, nobody out. Hot, sunny day. It's 111, Valdi. I just saw the thermometer here provided by Southern American.
And I was going to say, you can see the heat taking the toll on the players, and you can see it with the hitters. Not only with the pitcher, but with the hitter. You can see their bats, they're a little bit slower coming around. The bats getting a little bit heavier, but it's the heat that wears you down. You know?
And it's evident right there. You can see that that pitch is something that Hernandez would have handled differently earlier on in the game. But like you said, a little slow to come around. 111 degrees, 27% humidity, no real wind to speak of. It has been awfully still here. Sun high in the South Texas sky. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out so far here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Laredo trailing 8-4. Palmview with Jaime Palacios on the mound doing a masterful job. That's a ball to Santiago Hernandez. 2-2 the count. Nobody on, 1 out. Thank you to the City of Laredo, County of Webb for their support to put on this grand tournament. And that's a foul tip. UISD, LISD, Rotex Trucking, Andes Mobility, Andes Auto Air, Sunbelt Air Conditioning, Line Decker Construction, the Laredo Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Convention and Visitors Bureau of the City of Laredo, Aline Ramos and her staff, Parks Department, J.J. Gomez, Anita Stanley, and that's ball 3. So a full count with 1 out to Santiago Hernandez, AVV, looking to register out number 2 here. Tommy Ramirez over at Parks and Rec, the leadership trio over there. And that's going to be a walk. Santiago Hernandez takes a free ride to first base here in the top of the 5th inning. You know, the sun gets on these players and the heat does, but the length of the game gets on the broadcasters as we slow down a little bit here. Although last game it looked like I was ready for a nap, and all of a sudden the game explodes wide open. Julio Sierra, the center fielder, Sierra, as they would say in Northern California, Sierra, takes ball 1 from AVV. 1 out, 1 runner on, 1 ball, no strikes to Sierra. here in the second game of the day. And it is now 3 o'clock and change, 3:20. And as I said, they try not to get these games played between 2 and 6 because that is the hottest part of the day. Laredo being 150 miles from Corpus, 150 from San Antonio, 150 from Monterey, and 3 feet from HE double hockey sticks. The Inferno. And that's inside ball. 2-1 the count with a runner on and 1 out. Sierra, the left-hander.
Seeing the bad thing, the winner of this game will play at 6 o'clock. So,
oh my, that makes it hard for these poor folks. No rest for the wicked, as they say. So at this point, the sooner this game can end, the better for these players. But they may just get about an hour and a half rest between now and the next game.
true. Also for the umpires.
Oh, that's right. No crew to rotate. And that one is in the 4 hole, going to roll all the way out to right field. So 2 runners on with 1 out. And Palmview trying to add something to their lead here. With number 21, Julio Sierra, now at first. Number 4, the top of the order, Leonardo Bocanegra coming on. So this is a fortuitous situation for Palmview. With 2 runners on, you get the lineup starting all over again. The top of the order, Leonardo Bocanegra, followed by Eric Alonso, Pedro Estudio, and Christopher Ramos, all coming up behind us. 1 out, 2 runners on. Bocanegra at the plate, and AVV, Angel Villafranca Villarreal, on the mound for Laredo as he tries to get himself out of a jam. Fires ball 2. So 2-0 the count, 1 on, 1 out, 2 on. Bocanegra trying to extend the lead. They lead by 4, 8-4, here in the top of the 5th inning. The pitch, and that one is out in center field. And that's out number 2. So Villafranca Villarreal gets Bocanegra, the top of the order, to fly out to center field. And the 2 runners remain at second and first. And here comes Eric Alonso,
Number 5, Eric Alonso.
who's also had a good tournament so far. Number 5, Alonso, the left fielder, facing AVV in the game brought to you by Southern Sanitation, Southern American, Laredo's live Doppler radar, privately owned live Doppler radar, only one in the world, certainly only one privately owned in the United States. Now collaborating with the city of Laredo as it sits atop of the airport air rescue fire unit, the ARF, as it is affectionately known. 2 runners on, 1 at second, 1 at first. Number 5, Eric Alonso, the number 2 in the order, chips another one foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. What does AVV bring to this particular situation right here? What do you think he's got in mind?
I'm thinking he just went with the breaking ball right now. You got to throw a high fastball up and away. Not in the strike zone, but up and away. Waste of pitch here.
And Alonso has seen this pitcher before. This is not his first time with him, so he knows he's got to make an adjustment. Let's see who wins this battle. And exactly what you called, except a little more inside than, but it was fastball high. And if he could have just moved it out just a little bit, he probably would have gotten him. good call by my color commentator, Valdi Guzman, a standout at Nixon High School, and then went off to play college ball before returning to Laredo. Is the former head of the Parks Department, and that is strike 3 as AVV gets him looking to end the inning. So good job by Angel Villafranca Villarreal to allow no runs to score. So the gap remains 8-4 as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning, and we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Hector Cadena leading off for Laredo. And Jaime Palacios, the starter, remains on the mound for Palmview here in the bottom of the 5th inning. On a very hot 112-degree day here in Laredo, Texas. My good friend Hector from Game Changer banging on the wall there. And that one goes sailing into center field. Cadena, leadoff batter with a leadoff single into center field, and number 17, Ronaldo Lorenzo, approaches the batter's box, goes over to pick up the bat that was used by Cadena. Number 11, Jeremy Gabriel, out in left field. Palacios still on the rubber for Palmview, faces Lorenzo with a runner on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, trailing, and that one is foul ball all the way to right field, opposite direction there for Lorenzo. Again, probably a product of the heat, a little slow in that turnaround, in that swing.
Yes.
Nobody out, runner at first. Palacios still on the mound after a long 5-inning day.
I was trying to see, does Palmview have anybody on the bench?
I don't see anybody out there on the bench. Maybe somebody. Certainly don't see anybody in the bullpen.
Yeah.
So they may walk over to my cameraman and ask him if he wants to jump in. Jaime Palacios on the mound, the starter for Palmview. Number 17, Ronaldo Lorenzo, who was the starting pitcher, exited the game, then came back in. Palmview leading 8-4, runner at first. And that's a shot into center field. Center fielder on his horse, and that is going to drop. And here comes Cadena to third base, and a double for Lorenzo. Ronaldo Lorenzo getting his double out to center field, deep into center right. And coach goes out to retrieve his gloves. Cadena at third. Lorenzo's going to be at second. And here comes Jeremy Gabriel, the left-hander, to face off against Jaime Palacios.
There's still plenty of game, Gene. Laredo needs to capitalize here and find a way to bring those 2 runs home.
That's the opportunity that was missed a couple innings ago. Cannot afford to miss it here because there's not many innings left to go. So they've got to do it here. Gabriel, the left-hander, in the box. The field general walking over to the backstop here, signaling to the Pony organization leadership tent over here, and somebody walking down to talk to the coach, and the umpire coming in. And it looks like they're going to get somebody to run for Lorenzo. And maybe it was just a rules clarification.
I think so. I think because Lorenzo was a starting pitcher, and I think they're trying to find out if they can get a pinch runner for him.
Alonso Barbarena steps in for Lorenzo, who is walking gingerly back to the dugout. And he does signal that maybe he's got a tight hamstring or something. Barbarena now at second base running for Lorenzo. Cadena at 8. There are no outs. Laredo trails 8-4. And ball 1 to the left-hander Gabriel. Palacios still in here, bottom of the 5th, as Palmview leads 8-4, but Laredo is threatening with 2 runners in scoring position, no outs, and Gabriel looking to add to his team's tally here, keep the rally going, keep the dream alive. And as my color commentator Valdi Guzman was saying, this is, and that's out number 1. Exceptional catch there by the second baseman for Palmview, Teodoro Estudio. Teodoro snagging that off the ground, holding the runner at third, and then tossing the runner out at first. Orlando Guzman steps into the batter's box with an opportunity to add to the score here with runners in scoring position for Laredo. The right-hander Guzman has one shot right at third. There's going to be a play at home, and they play is made at home, and Cadena unsuccessful in getting in. The catcher good job protecting the plate without impeding, managed to get the runner out at home, and Guzman goes to first. The courtesy runner, Barbarena, is at third. The umpire goes and talks to the coach, and he taps the catcher on the shoulder, says something to somebody.
Now batting, number 9, Alejandro Garza.
So number 9, Alejandro Garza, the catcher, is in the batter's box with 2 outs and a runner at third, a runner at first. Jaime Palacios, the starter, on the mound, and that goes high into shallow center field, and the center field, calling everybody off, manages to grab that, and Laredo leaves 2 stranded, gets one caught at home, and does not produce the runs it needs here in the bottom of the 5th. So with 2 more innings to go, Laredo takes the field, and we'll be right back after a brief commercial message. For 50 years, Southern Sanitation has been managing the waste disposal needs of the city of Laredo and the surrounding communities, doing its part in helping keep the community clean. Call Southern Sanitation at 956-723-3333 and let us help you manage all your waste disposal needs. Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. And we're back from the break. Number 6, Teodoro Estudillo, with an 0-1 count, takes strike two, swing and a miss there. We have a new pitcher, J.P. Briseño III, on the mound for Laredo as they trail Palmview here 8-4 in the top of the sixth inning. Estudillo, between the gap over in the 5-hole, gets on to first base. So the leadoff batter, Estudillo, is on base with Christopher Ramos, number 2, the catcher. Sorry, number 16, the catcher, comes on.
Now batting number 16, Christopher Ramos.
Christopher Ramos facing the new pitcher, J.P. Briseño, with the runner on here in the top of the sixth. Has one right into shortstop. 6-4-3 double play. Outstanding job by the Laredo defense to register the first two outs here at the top of the sixth inning. Now coming up to the plate, Brent Jarowski.
Number 1,
Brent Jarowski, the shortstop for Palmview, has 2 outs and is facing a new pitcher. Number 4, J.P. Briseño. Live action here, Pony Palomino World Series. Palmview, Texas versus Laredo, Texas. 8-4, top of the sixth inning. And that ball flies away. We've got our good friend Hector from Game Changer here next door. Not sure what he's doing. He's been confined to Radio B, by himself. They've added some extra padding. And that shot is right over the shortstop. And Brent Jarowski is on base with 2 outs here in the top of the sixth inning as they lead 8-4. And Victor Rodriguez makes his way to the plate.
now batting number 14, Victor Rodriguez.
We go back to the bottom of the fourth and bottom of the fifth innings for Laredo, Gene. They had their chances. Bottom of the fourth, runners first and second, nobody out. Couldn't score. They scored 3, but they had more. And then the last inning, second and third, nobody out. They weren't able to score.
Absolutely needed, but weren't able to do it. But they still trail with 2 innings going, and there's still hope. There's a new player who's entered into the field of play, and he just shoots one straight to the center fielder for out number 3. That was Raul Prischker, who had made his debut in this game. Number 24 flies out to center field to end the inning, and we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Laredo trailing 8-4, and we'll be right back. Antonio Sanchez gets ready to face Jaime Palacios, the Iron Man, who has started the game and continues here in the bottom of the sixth. World Series Pony Palomino action here. Unitrade Stadium, top of the order, Antonio Sanchez facing the right-hander Palacios. And that's a grounder to third. The wheels on Sanchez still not able to get there. And Laredo registers out number one. Palmview has their Iron Man pitcher, Jaime Palacios, still on the mound. We were looking at the rule book trying to figure out what's the maximum pitches allowed. What are the maximum pitches allowed by a pitcher? And I think it was
105.
105. We don't know if he's got there, but he's got to be getting close. Number 3, Jaime Palacios, still on the mound for Palmview. Number 14 for Laredo at the plate, top of the order, Enrique Loyola. And he takes strike one from Palacios. 1-1 the count, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the sixth. And the number of bats remaining are starting to shrink here for Laredo. And that's a shot in the left, and that's going to go foul. No, it's in, fair. He called it fair. Again, one of the major challenges of having the booth here where it is, Radio Room A, sits kind of in the middle of the suite and club area, and it's not easy to see what's happening over in left field. You really do have to stick your head out the window to see it. One of the design errors, I think, here at Unitrade.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think it was done on purpose because you usually see the media behind home plate. So they were thinking their thought was that we'll get those nice seats where people can spend money.
And rightfully so. Swing and a miss here by number 3. Andrew De Leon, 1 out, runner at second. So Laredo with a chance to claw its way back into this game, down by 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. And you know, the club area, which sits right behind home plate up above, has a great view of the facility, of the playing field. However, if you're not sitting at the corner, you cannot see that corner right in the middle here. So maybe someday they'll make that adjustment.
Yes.
Not sure exactly when and where they'll do it, but we'll see. Minor league stadium's not built the same as major league. And that shot right down the middle is going to score a run. And an RBI single by Andrew De Leon into center field scores Loyola. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Laredo adds 1. So they now trail 8-5 in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out. And my staff keeps pointing at first base, but I'm not sure what they're pointing at. Looks like shoe, sock, or something going on at first base. We've got Josh, our cameraman. What does he see down there? Not sure what he's looking at over at first base. Not sure what he's looking at over at first base. Not sure why we don't have the camera on at first base so that we can see what's happening. Is the camera down? Is that what it is? We don't know. We'll figure that out in a second. All right, so Clements now at the plate has a high fly ball, shallow, and it's going to drop. Some miscommunications between the second baseman, the shortstop and the center fielder. And those players not happy with the decisions made by the trio. Number 8, Hector Cadena comes in. Again, we're at the top of the order. And so a chance for Laredo to do something here with 1 out, 2 runners on, and the tying run coming up to the plate, Hector Cadena. Cadena with a strong bat could turn the tide for Laredo here. And that's straight to center field for out number 2. And there's an opportunity lost. Cadena with a long fly ball to center field. Runners hold. Runners at first and second. And number 17, Ronaldo Lorenzo comes back to the batter's box here to face Jaime Palacios, who has started this game and continues on. He's allowed 1 run so far this inning, has 2 on, 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Laredo trying desperately to get back into this as they trail by 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. That stays in front. Catcher for Palmview, Christopher Ramos, getting in front of that. And my trusty cameraman is telling us that there was a rock in the shoe of the runner, and that's why he stopped for a second to take that out of his shoe. And
maybe it was a screw.
And yeah, this morning I had a screw in my shoe, so maybe they got that as well. Picked it up in the parking lot there. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Ronaldo Lorenzo trying to keep this little rally that started alive. Opportunities like this won't come that often. They've missed a couple of them. They got to take advantage of this if they're going to get back in the game. And that's a strike. And Lorenzo, with a 3-0 count, takes the strike. 3-1 the count. 2 outs. 2 on. Bottom of the 6th, Palacios, the stalwart, the starter, facing Lorenzo. And that's a fly ball, second base, getting underneath it, gets it for out number 3. And 2 men lay stranded on the bases here, and Lorenzo pops up to second base, and that will end the inning. Laredo scoring 1 run, closing the gap, but not enough. 8-5. Last inning, and we'll be right back. Hector Cadena on the mound for Laredo as they trail 8-5. Number 7, Jesus Garcia for Palmview, the leadoff batter. Palmview ahead 8-5 here, top of the last inning, the 7th. And a high fastball from Cadena. 2 balls, no strikes. Opportunities missed by Laredo in the last 3 innings, leaving at least 2 runners stranded in both. And in 2 of those innings, the top of the order was available, but unsuccessful in driving in runs. So no runs were scored in inning number 5 and only 1 in inning 6, and they trail here 8-5. So a new pitcher, Cadena, pitching to Jesus Garcia, a new entrant to the game 2 innings ago. And we were looking into the Palmview dugout, and we didn't see any additional players for Palmview. Now we're looking out in the bullpen, and it looks like they might have somebody out there, as Jaime Palacios had pitched a masterful 5 complete innings so far. Cadena winds up and throws, and that's high, and he walks Garcia. So the first batter for Palmview gets a free ride to first base, and Cadena's first batter is walked. Cadena, the reliever for Laredo, hoping to get a quick series of outs here so they can get back to the bat, as they will get one last chance to get in this game and continue on in the tournament. This is a double elimination tournament, and this is the bracket that features 2 teams that have lost at least 1 game. So the victor will advance, and the other team will, the loser, will go home or go into the stands for a while, depending on where they are, where they're from. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs, 1 runner on. This is the second batter in the lineup, number 27, Jose Gonzalez, also making his debut, his entrance into the game. 3 balls, no strikes, runner at first, no outs here at the Pony Palomino World Series unit trade, brought to you by Southern Sanitation and our good friends Ringo's Barbecue, legendary barbecue and burgers, Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, and Southern Sanitation, our title sponsor. Southern American providing the live Doppler radar, and that's a walk for Gonzalez as 2 runners occupy the bases, second and first. And number 18, the coach. I don't know the name of the coach. I don't see him. I think it's, Manolo Rangel, which is the field general, as I like to refer to him, the manager. Coach Aaron Navarro. And you have one other, and I'm not sure who that is, but we're going to see if we can. Didn't capture it when we got the roster pictures up here. But he went out there and had a quick chat with Hector, said, "Young man, it's okay. Calm down. We've got time. We've got another at-bat. Let's get this thing closed out here."
I'll be surprised to see Palmview here putting down a bunt. Even though they're up by 3 runs, they still want some more security runs.
Absolutely, and you have to have them with Laredo. Laredo's got some hot bats and can rally at any time. And sure enough, just as you called it, exactly done, and done to perfection. Perfectly painted picture. Picasso could not have done a better job, or Rembrandt if you're that kind of style of painting you like. bunt right down the first base line by the left-hander, number 21, Julio Sierra, to advance the two runners. Number 27, Gonzalez at second, and Jesus Garcia at third. So runners in scoring position with one out. Number 4, the top of the order, Leonardo Bocanegra. Oh, what a fortuitous moment for Palmview, with the top of the order coming in. Alonso right behind him, Estudillo behind him. Swing and a miss by Bocanegra. Cadena, 87-mile-an-hour fastball to him. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 runners on in scoring position. And Bocanegra at the plate. Cadena winds and delivers. And that one is shot between the 5-hole. And the run is going to score. But the left fielder, fast on the charge, picks up that ball and holds the runner at third. Only 1 run scores, but that is a run Laredo did not need to have added to its deficit. 9-5 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Eric Alonso, the second batter in the lineup at the top of the order, having shot one into left field. Cadena checking the runner at first. So Bocanegra, RBI single into left, right between the third baseman and the shortstop. And again, Cadena checking the runner. Let's see what coach for Palmview is going to draft up and call, with Eric Alonso at the plate. And it is a out at home, as a hit and run did not develop. The runner from first to second advances, but the runner from third to home caught trying to steal, making a dirt dive right before the home plate. Didn't even get a chance to put his fingers on the plate. The catcher tagging out for out number 2. So Eric Alonso hits a grounder to second, and that ends the inning, but not before Palmview adds 1 more to the deficit. So in the bottom of the 7th, the last inning, the last 3 outs for Laredo, they face a 4-run deficit, 9-5, and we'll be right back to Pony Palomino World Series action. For 50 years, Southern Sanitation has been managing the waste disposal needs of the city of Laredo and the surrounding communities, doing its part in helping keep the community clean. Call Southern Sanitation at 956-723-3333 and let us help you manage all your waste disposal needs. Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. And we're back for the final 3 outs here of the Pony Palomino World Series game number 2 of the day, 3rd day of Pony Palomino World Series action. Game featuring Palmview, Texas and Laredo, Texas, with Palmview leading Laredo 9-4 as we come to the final inning and the bottom half of that inning. Number 11, Jeremy Gabriel, will be the leadoff batter for Laredo, and he will face a reliever, the closer, number 6, Teodoro Estudillo, after Jaime Palacios pitched 6 full innings for Palmview. And Estudillo winds, and his first pitch is a strike, a flaming 85-mile-an-hour strike right down the pipe. No outs, nobody on. First batter for Laredo, Jeremy Gabriel, the left fielder, takes ball 1, 1-1 the count. Jeremy liked that. Kind of wanted to take a swing at it. Held off speed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th inning, Laredo trailing 9-5, 4-run deficit here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On a blistering hot Sunday afternoon, a game that started a little later, should have ended already as well, has lingered on into the afternoon sun. It is 4:12. The next game is at 6, and the winner of this game will have to play at 6 o'clock. So Palmview, with a new pitcher on the mound, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jeremy Gabriel, looks to seal the deal and punch their ticket to the next game. If Laredo loses, they will be out of the tournament. If Palmview loses, they will be out of the tournament. So they're trying to get on to the next game. Catcher number 16, Christopher Ramos, telling his pitcher, it's okay, we've got a lead. Calm down. Don't force it. Don't rush it. Gabriel, on the other hand, patiently waiting for the right pitch, has a full count with nobody on and no outs. He is the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that goes foul ball. And that one landing right above us, rattling the cage over for Hector from Game Changer in the padded cell next to us. Okay, so here we go. The pitcher takes the windup and the throw. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gabriel strikes out. So with only 2 outs left to go, Laredo trails 9-5 and is desperately trying to hang on and start something. Michael Guevara at the plate facing the reliever, Teodoro Estudillo, after Palacios pitched 6 full innings. And that one goes right back to the pitcher, who tapped it and was unable to complete the play. The shortstop, Jarowski running as hard as he could to try to make a play at first, decided I'll just hold on to it, give it back to Estudillo. So something happening here. Let's a little stoppage in play. Ramos, the catcher, Walking over to talk to number 6, his pitcher, Estudio. The coach kind of steps out, walks out, says, "What you cooking?" Not sure what stopped the play. Maybe it was the catcher who asked for a moment. Number 16 for Laredo, Manuel Chaitis, stepping into the batter's box. Chaitis making his first appearance in this game. Chaitis will be facing Estudio with 1 runner on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th as they trail 9-5, and he takes strike 1 from Estudio. Hats off to Palmview's starter Jaime Palacios. 6 full innings helped his team achieve a 9-5 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Chaitis takes ball 1 from Estudio. 1-1 the count, 1 out, 1 runner on. Bottom of the 7th. Laredo desperately needing something to keep going. This is the bracket that features 2 teams with a loss, so any further losses eliminates you from the tournament, and all these teams want is a shot at the title, and that's a strike from Estudio to Chaitis. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 84-mile-an-hour pitch from Estudio. The temperature hovering around 110, 112. Virtually no wind out there, no breeze. 28% humidity, courtesy of Southern American live Doppler radar. And that's inside for a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 runner on for Estudio, the closer for Palmview, hoping to close this one out. Chaitis hoping to keep it going. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This game started just after lunch, as the other one ran a little long, so this game's going on about 4 hours now. Chaitis takes strike 3 from Estudio, and the ump a little slow in delivering his message.
He's tired also.
The sun's got him as well. So the bats are swinging slow, the runners are running slow, and the umpires are calling slow. With 111 temperature on the gauge here, I can imagine. So 2 outs, down to the bottom, to the last out. Antonio Sanchez looking to start something, a spark with a runner on. Can he do it? Can he maintain the dreams and hopes of the Laredo team alive as the hour closes on the Laredo team? Runner at first. Antonio Sanchez at the plate. Teodoro Estudio on the mound. And the windup and delivery. It's a strike. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 1 runner on. Sanchez just looking for something. Just something to keep this team in the tournament. And there goes the throw. And that is the game as the runner from first attempts to steal, but Ramos, the catcher, not having it. Throws him out at second, and that will do it. And the curtain closes on this year's run for Laredo as they are done for the tournament. Palmview will continue on, but unfortunately we'll have to do it in the next 2 hours. So with 4:19 on my clock here, the courtesy exchange of greetings here at the end will last for about another 5 minutes. By the time they get their gear and get to where they need to go, maybe eat something, they'll be back here in 90 minutes.
And hopefully we don't see Palacios pitching.
Wow, that would be a miracle. I mean, if that happens, that boy.
Props to him. He pitched well. He pitched well today.
He did.
He battled and he pitched well.
If we see him coming back out, he's going to be wearing that red Ironman suit because Tony Stark has got nothing on Jaime Palacios there. Outstanding job. Want to thank our sponsors, but we also want to take our hats off to the Laredo baseball team. Great host, great coaching by Manolo and his staff, Aaron Navarro and the rest of the coaching staff. The parents, thank you so much. Laredo always doing a great job. Proud to have them represent us. And now the Pony staff will hang a medal on the folks for Laredo for this World Series. They earned the right to be here, even though they were a host team. They played successfully throughout the season, put together a great team, and it comes to an end here this Sunday afternoon. Your boy Orlando having a good series.
Had a good series, had a couple base hits. Now we got to get ready for college.
Now we got to get ready for college in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, yes, sir. North Central University.
North Central University. So hats off. Congratulations to Mom and Dad as well as to Orlando. Good luck. Future success.
And I don't think it's 110 over there.
And it's not going to be 110 over there. You'll be packing parkas and snow gear for him pretty soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations to Palmview as they advance into the tournament. We're going to take about a 90-minute break here. We'll be right back at 6 o'clock with the next game. We're going to sign off and say thank you to all of our sponsors. We will be right back in no time. Have a great time. Thank you for joining us.